There comes a moment in every man's life when he realizes something painful. No one is coming to save him. Not his friends, not society, not even his father. Because the truth is ruthless. Your father didn't prepare you for the real world, not because he didn't love you, but because he was fighting his own battles, drowning in his own fears, carrying wounds he never showed you. So you grew up blind to the game. No one told you that the world respects force, not softness, discipline, not dreams, power, not innocence. No one warned you that kindness without strength turns you into prey. That people remember what you give them, but forget you the moment they're done using you. That life is not fair, balanced, or moral. Life is strategic. This video is not about healing. It's about transformation. In the next 40 minutes, you will learn the rules men only whisper behind closed doors. The rules that separate predators from the pacified. The respected from the ignored. The men who rise from the men who kneel. Every man is trained from childhood to be useful, to help others, to be reliable, to be the good son. And without realizing it, you grow into a man who carries everyone's weight, except his own. But here is the truth your father never told you. The moment you become essential to others, you stop being important to yourself. People don't admire the man who solves every problem. They expect him to. They use him, drain him, and when he collapses, they step over his body and look for the next helper. This is the tragedy of the dependable man. He becomes a silent servant, disguised as a friend, a son, a partner, a brother, and the world never apologizes for it. Because usefulness is not respect. Usefulness is utility, and utility is replaced the second someone cheaper, faster, or more convenient appears. You were not raised to be powerful. You were raised to be available. You learned to answer every call, fix every mistake, calm every storm, show up for every crisis. You believed that serving everyone would earn you loyalty, gratitude, influence. But power doesn't come from being everywhere. Power comes from being the man who is not easily accessed. Look around your life. Notice how the people you chase never chase you. Notice how the ones you prioritize give you their leftovers. Notice how those you rescue never return the favor. Why? Because you trained them to believe your time is cheap. Humans don't respect abundance. They respect scarcity. And you made yourself endlessly available. Every time you rushed to help, you taught them. You don't have to give me anything. I'll still show up. Every time you said, don't worry about it, you taught them. My effort has no price. Every time you forgave disrespect, you taught them. My boundaries are soft. And now, when you try to assert yourself, they're confused because you're breaking a system you built. Understand this deeply. People treat you exactly the way you have trained them to treat you. If you've become the man everyone uses, you've also become the man no one truly considers. Look at the most respected men in society. They're not always available. They are selectively available, and only to those who earn it. Power isn't in being needed. Power is in being rare. When your presence becomes scarce, your value rises. When your availability becomes limited, your respect increases. When your boundaries harden, your influence grows. But you can't make this shift through words. Words mean nothing to people who already decided who you are. Transformation only happens through behavior. Here's where you begin. 1. Stop solving problems you didn't create. Let people fix their own mistakes. Responsibility builds them and protects you. 2. Start saying no without explaining. A weak man apologizes for protecting his time. A strong man knows he doesn't need to. 3. Become unpredictable in your availability. When people know you'll always pick up, they stop valuing the call. When they don't know when you'll respond, the tone changes. 4. Show up for yourself first. Most men burn out carrying everyone else's fire while their own flame is. 5. Reward reciprocity, not dependency. If someone appears only when they need something, that's not a relationship. It's a transaction. And the moment you stop being endlessly useful, something interesting happens. People who valued your service disappear, but the ones who value you stay. This is the purification every man needs. And yes, it will feel uncomfortable. You've spent years being the dependable one, the fixer, the helper, the man who puts himself last. But that version of you was built for survival, not dominance. The world respects a man who is stable, but fears a man who is selective. Your goal is not to be needed by everyone. Your goal is to be respected by the right ones, and untouchable to the wrong ones. When you stop being constantly available, you don't lose people. You lose parasites. What remains is your core, your strength, your power. And that is where transformation begins. Most men are controlled not by force, but by their own emotions. They explode when challenged, panic under pressure, break when abandoned, chase when rejected, collapse when affection is withdrawn. This is why men lose, not because of others, but because they cannot remain cold. The world is not kind to emotional men. Emotional men negotiate poorly, choose comfort over discipline, stay in weak relationships to avoid loneliness, hold back their potential out of fear of judgment, get manipulated because their triggers are obvious, become predictable, and predictable men become puppets. Power belongs to the man who can stay calm while everyone else is bleeding inside. Coldness is not cruelty. Coldness is clarity. It is the ability to see things as they are, not as you wish they were. It is the discipline to make decisions based on strategy, not sympathy. It is the strength to remain steady when someone tries to provoke you, guilt-trip you, or emotionally corner you. A cold man does not react. He evaluates. He watches, studies intentions, and chooses the action that benefits him in the long run. He does not lash out, beg, or over-explain. He refuses to be dragged into emotional chaos. His detachment is his shield. His silence is his sword. Every man must understand this. There are moments when kindness becomes a trap, when forgiveness is a form of surrender, when empathy becomes leverage in the hands of the wrong people. People will exploit the softness you show them. They will weaponize your loyalty. They will use your fear of disappointing others to push you toward decisions that destroy you. This is why necessary cruelty exists. Necessary cruelty is the ability to prioritize your well-being, your goals, and your future. Even when it disappoints others, even when it shocks them, even when it makes them call you heartless. It is not the desire to hurt people. It is the refusal to let people hurt you. Sometimes you must walk away without explaining. Sometimes you must end things without comforting the other person. Sometimes you must say no without softening your tone. Sometimes you must choose yourself so completely that the world misunderstands you, because a man without boundaries will always be betrayed. A man without self-respect will always be mistreated. A man who avoids conflict becomes a playground for those who enjoy creating it. Cold hands remind you that you are not here to be agreeable. You are here to advance. You are here to build a life that protects you, strengthens you, and elevates you. Emotional men trade their vision for temporary approval. Cold men trade approval for long-term power. When you stop operating from emotion, a new version of you emerges. You stop overreacting. You stop chasing. You stop arguing. You stop justifying. You stop expecting fairness from unfair people. You stop pouring energy into those who drain you. You stop apologizing for protecting your peace. Your decisions sharpen. Your presence grows heavier. Your time becomes more valuable. Your relationships become clearer. People stop playing with you because they can no longer read you or control you. Your silence makes them uneasy. Your indifference makes them cautious. Your calmness makes them question themselves. This is what the world respects. Not a man who is nice, but a man who is not easily moved. Not a man who reacts, but a man who calculates. Not a man who pleases, but a man who cannot be controlled. They may not always like you, but they will think twice before crossing you. They may gossip, but they will obey your boundaries. They may misunderstand you, but they will never underestimate you. And while emotional men burn out, you remain unshaken, unbothered, unbreakable. Power requires cold hands, not frozen by fear, but steady with discipline. The man who stays calm under pressure becomes the man who sets the terms. And in a world that rewards dominance, not sensitivity, it is the cold-handed man who walks forward while everyone else trembles. A man's greatest weakness is believing he needs permission to live the life he wants. He waits for validation from friends, family, society, partners, even strangers online. He wants applause before he begins, encouragement before he commits, and reassurance before he takes a step. This is why most men never rise. They are addicted to approval.